Whenever I write emails, what's the second line that I write?
I hope this finds you well.
I hope this email finds you well. But it's not I expect this email to find you well, because there's most of the time, you're not going to be well. So it's hope. Swami Tejamananda explained it as this. When it comes to food, we should have preferences, but not likes and dislikes. You drive me down the street. Vivek, where do you prefer to eat? Where am I going to say?
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. But if you take me to Chipotle, I will still be happy. If you take me to McDonald's, I'll still be happy, because it's not a like or dislike, it's a preference. In the same way, I hope you'll understand. I hope you'll come on time. You hope that I'll speak clearly, I'll speak thoroughly. But that expectation, once that fits in, there's an aspect of disappointment that may come in. So to alleviate stress in our lives, we should have hopes, but not expectations. Again, our resources are fixed. People are as they are. We're focusing on the demand, which is what we have, what we are, our demanded people. Okay, what else? If a dog came in here and started barking, would you look at that dog and say, hey, how come that dog is not meowing? No, because the dog barks. That's the way it is. When we go to the zoo and we see a snake, we don't say, hey, how come that snake is not eating grass? Because it's a snake, it doesn't eat grass. But when it comes to our brothers, our sisters, our parents, our significant others, we always expect them to behave like us, or different than they are. Yes or no? Yes. Whose problem is that? Is it the dog's fault that it barks? No, the dog is the dog. That's the resource. If I get upset at that, it's my problem. It's my demand. People are the way they are. We don't want them to act differently when it comes to animals or this watch. I don't want this watch to act as a microphone. It's a watch. I don't want this microphone to tell time. It would be pretty cool, but but that's not the case. Why do we do it with people then? It doesn't make sense. And because it doesn't make sense, there's stress. If we acted on this sensical idea, there wouldn't be stress. And another way we can fix the demand, and change ourselves to deal with people, is understand that the faults we see in others is just an expression of our own faults. If I recognize anger in Ravitha, how do I know that's anger? I need to have that anger in me too, to be able to recognize that anger. The faults that we see in other people are really our own faults. Because only when we don't have a fault, meaning we're perfect, would we stop seeing other faults in other people. We would understand everyone else is perfect too. What does perfection mean? Being as you are. These three ideas that I should accept people as they are, the faults that I see are my faults, and that I should have hopes and not expectations, can reduce the stress in our lives. Will reduce the stress in our lives just by understanding this. Dealing with people is so important, and that's why stress management related to people is so important. The most important department in an organization? HR. Really, it is. In the for-profit, and especially the not-for-profit. It is way more difficult to work in a not-for-profit organization than a for-profit organization. And for us that are involved with the not-for-profit organization, understanding how to deal with people is fundamental. The fundamentals. It is elemental to being able to run an organization. Because in for-profit, you don't do what I do, I don't sign your paycheck. Here, you don't do what I do, the person says, I don't care. Who are you to tell me what to do and what not to do? I came here by choice. I'm a volunteer. So it requires much more understanding of people. That's why tonight also, this evening's discourse will be on synergy in relationships, because we need to focus more on how to deal with people. Mahatma Gandhi, I cannot praise this master enough in his most powerful saying that be the change you want to see in the world. Once we change, the whole world around us changes. There's a Vedantic term that says, Yatha drishti, tata srishti. Change your vision, change your world. Once I make my vision towards people beautiful, what happens to all people then? They become beautiful. Nana's like, yeah.
It's a good idea.
In Chinmay Mission Niagara, we're a small center. We have around 50 people that come every Sunday, 25 volunteer students. And I do the most significant amount of work there when it comes to cleaning, writing, teaching, raising funds, everything. And I often, when I travel to centers like Chicago, I was like, whoa, you know, life would be so easy here. You just come, you teach, you eat, you leave. And I was like, wow, why is it such a struggle in Niagara? And I realized the problem is not the board or the people, the problem is my problem. That I'm not doing a good enough job there. I'm not inspiring people enough. So the only way to do it is to change myself, to change my vision towards that center. No one else, you know, that's the resource. That's what I have to work with. All that I can change is myself. And through that simple understanding, my experience with Niagara has become more fluid, more pleasurable. This I've thought about, I'm implementing just in the last little while. Whether you're working, gonna get married, going to school, dealing with professors, dealing with our parents, this stuff is really simple. And when we say that it's complicated, when we don't practice it, we're choosing not to. It is really simple ideas, really simple to practice too. You just gotta do it. Nothing I've said today has been profound. Yesterday I didn't say anything profound either. And it's not because I don't have anything profound to say. But the simple stuff has become profound for us. And this message of stress management goes hand in hand with common sense. And you know who's the epitome of common sense? Swami Tejamananda. The one aspect of Puja Guruji that I admire the most is his attitude and implementation and execution of common sense. When we were studying, and we were talking about the monsoons, and we were talking about the snakes that are in the bathrooms, and this and that, really crazy challenges, mosquitoes. And he said, in life, two things can happen. Either the expected or the unexpected. If you expected it, why are you sad? If it was unexpected, there's nothing you could have done, so why are you sad? So simple. For those of you who came to our inauguration in Niagara Falls on July 28th, you two were there, you two were there. Do you remember when Swamiji's phone was ringing? So all of the Acharyas are sitting in the front row, and Guruji's sitting on the Vyaspeed. And of course, we asked everyone to shut their cell phones on, and all of a sudden, the phone starts ringing. Continues to ring, continues to ring. No one's taking ownership of it. Guruji just stops talking. Then Swamiji realizes that it's her phone, and she kind of hesitatingly gets up to pick up the bag and turn the phone off. And Guruji so beautifully said, "It's already done. Why are you stressing?" Right? What is the point of her stressing now? What's done is done. And so she shut it off, and he continued with his discourse. So simple. On a side note, I just need to tell you this short story which has nothing to do with what we're talking about.